everyone, good morning. I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen. It's breakfast time. Saturday morning, lazy morning, rainy morning. What?
Cold and rainy.
It is cold and rainy. It is yucky today. But
what a beautiful day.
I love it when it's like this. This is my personal favorite. When I wake up in the morning and see rain clouds and pouring rain and darkness, I love it. I have to tell you, because you know what? That is an invitation to a cozy day. So
that bright and sunny crap's for the birds.
it is. It's only for gardeners and things like that. We're going to make some breakfast burritos today for breakfast. And you know what? Everybody knows how to make a breakfast burrito. But again, I'll say it. I've got a lot of new cooks coming up who tell me all the time they're learning new and different things from me. And a lot of people I know who can easily drive through. They drive through at their favorite fast food restaurant and order up a breakfast burrito that comes in a soggy paper wrapper that has questionable ingredients.
Mystery meat.
And mystery meat. Today we're going to make some. We're going to show you how easy it is. I'm going to go over how easy it is to scramble up some eggs for all of you out there who may not know how to do that. And I'm going to just put my coffee down and we're going to get started. I'm making for 3 people and 3 dogs. So please keep that in mind when I scramble my eggs. I'm just going to swirl my pan over here. I've just got a couple of tablespoons of butter in a non-stick pan. This is the only time you will ever see me use a non-stick pan is when I make eggs. We're going to go ahead, we're going to crack our eggs into our bowl. And for everyone who thinks I can't, there you go. Alright, first thing you want to do, if you have never scrambled an egg before, let me get my little egg crate out of the way. Never scrambled an egg before, use a fork in your bowl. Make sure you have a bowl with a wide enough mouth that you'll be able to do this. Because if you're just learning how to do this, it's much easier with a wide bowl than it is like, I'll scramble the egg in a measuring cup if if that's all I have, no biggie. But it's a little bit more difficult. Poke your yolks. Okay, and then just put your fork in like this. And start breaking up those eggs. And do it as fast as you can. Once you practice, you get really good at it, and it's really simple. But you don't just want to put the egg in there. I'm going to put a splash of milk. To make it a bit creamier, I'm going to use my Gosner milk here. Just a couple of tablespoons. And then I'm also going to put in a good pinch, crazy mixed up salt. That's just my preference. A little shake of seasoned salt. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get my onion powder and my garlic powder because I always use this even though my husband doesn't know I do. There's some onion powder. And then hopefully there's enough garlic powder in here. Oh yeah, perfect. Time to refill. And then just go at it. When you put the salt in there, it's going to help break up the egg white. And it's with the milk in there also, it's going to help the mixture become a bit creamy. And you can add whatever flavors in here you like. If you want to add parsley, cilantro, whatever, go for it. You could add bacon. We're going to put meat in here. So today we're using ham because that's what Rick said he wanted. Ham. And that's looking a little eggy, so I'm going to add just another splash of milk. And this is how you beat eggs if you're going to beat them up for whatever reason. But remember, use a broad fork and broad strokes. Like you're going in a circle. Make a circle with your hand. And then just do it as fast as you can. This is not an easy motion to learn how to do. You can see how I'm cradling the fork. The back of the fork is kind of touching the back of the palm of my hand. And I'm holding it like this. I mean, you can see like that. Almost like you would hold a pencil, but not quite. And that's how you scramble an egg. That's how I scramble an egg. If you have a better way of doing it, you can use a whisk, you can use a whip, you can put it in your blender, and it all works good. I have about a cup of cubed ham here, and we're going to come over to our frying pan, where I have a couple of tablespoons of butter just melting. I'm going to grab a wooden spoon. I like to just warm up my ham, brown it a little bit in the butter or the oil or whatever. Ham is not fatty enough to go on its own. If I were using sausage, I like to use the breakfast sausage and the brown and serve sausage and cut it into slices. Throw it in a dry pan and let it brown up. That's a dry nonstick, because this is the only thing I ever use my eggs in. I only ever use this pan for eggs. I think Rick may use it occasionally for a grilled cheese sandwich, but not too much.
Not usually.
I'm going to turn my heat up. I had turned it down to a 3, so now I've turned it back up to a 5. The secret to nicely scrambled eggs is the same as it is for fried eggs or over easy eggs.
Low and slow.
Don't get your pan screaming hot. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to just pour my egg mixture right over in there with the ham. And I'm going to wipe up my messy mess. And this is only going to take a few minutes. You're going to notice that it's going to start to set around the edge. Kind of pull it into the middle. Don't stir it. Kind of pull it. And don't start to zhuzh it a whole lot until you really start to see the edges starting to set. See? You can see some of it starting to set up in here now, but I've just turned the burner up, so once that pan comes up to heat, it's going to start to turn opaque around the edges of the pan. That's when you can actually walk away from this for a minute or two and go do something else and get ready for your breakfast. Like, you can come over here and you can put your tortillas in a cast iron skillet that you've had heating on the back of the stove, because you don't want to eat what I like to call a raw tortilla. It's just not pleasant. It tastes like paste. Tortillas are always better when you cook them. Just a little bit to get that raw edge off. Now, how are we doing here? And I can feel it's starting to harden up on the bottom, starting to firm up. And if you just give it a once around here, the hotter the pan gets and the sooner, the more done eggs get, the quicker this is all going to go. And before you know it, you're going to have scrambled eggs. You can apply this technique the same with nothing else in the pan but the eggs. And at some point, we'll have Rick show you how he fries an egg, because he does it better than I do.
More patience.
That's probably what it is. I like things done fast, and you can't fry an egg fast. It's just that simple. And I worked in restaurants for years, so when you fry an egg in a restaurant, it's a whole different prospect, because you've got a flat grill. It's constantly the right temperature. You pop it on there, you put a little bit of water, and you put a lid on it, and then it cooks. At home, it's not quite as fast. Rick is much better at the fried egg than I am. I can do it, but I have to employ his method. And you can see the egg is now starting to come together. It's starting to look like scrambled eggs. And you can see how I'm kind of going around the edge of the pan and getting the uncooked part, not the part that's still very wet, toward the bottom of the pan so that it will cook. This is the point where it starts to take off, and it will start to cook much more quickly now that you see it's starting to come together. Turn my heat down? No, I'm good right now. You're going to start to see it starting to become very creamy. And the ham is just going to incorporate well. It's not going to become coated with the egg. It's just cooking in there with the egg. And I like my scrambled eggs scrambled very well. I do not like runny eggs The French have a method of scrambling their eggs and cooking them in a very low pan. It makes them very creamy, and they're delicious, but I have, it's a texture thing with me. I just don't enjoy them. I like the eggs to be very done. We're almost there. You see how fast that took place? It didn't take much time at all, just a few minutes. I would say less than 2 or 3 minutes, actually. And I talked the whole time because I'm really good at that. I have people send me comments all the time telling me I talk too much, but I can't help it. This is how I am. When you can start to, I can start to smell this now. I can smell the herbs that were in the crazy mixed up salt. And that's Jane's crazy mixed up salt. If you're not familiar with it, you can find it in the spice section at most grocery stores. I grew up with it. The fact that you went ahead and put onion powder and garlic powder in your eggs and a little bit of that seasoned salt, I'm telling you what, you haven't had scrambled eggs this delicious until you've tried them like this. They're wonderful. They stand on their own. A lot of times during school week, I'll make a pan of scrambled eggs and just cover it with shredded cheese, turn off the heat, put a lid on it, and let that melt, and everybody can help themselves. Everybody, though, enjoys a breakfast burrito, and we're getting ready to make you one of those right now. So we're going to come over here. I have browned this tortilla a bit, probably a bit too much, but that's okay. Let me grab a serving spoon, honey, because it's easier to get those eggs out of the pan with this serving spoon. There we go. Rick fixed my silverware drawer, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, so we're going to come over here. The other secret, well, the secret to making a burrito of any kind is to not overfill it. And if you've ever tried to make a burrito, you kind of know that's true. So you're going to want to kind of start off to one end. And these are burrito size tortillas. If you have smaller ones, just do it accordingly. You can always have another burrito, but you'll have a blowout if you put too much in there. All right. Basically what we like is a little bit of cheese and a little bit of salsa, and I'm gonna need a tablespoon out of here now too, so. You like salsa, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the way I like to fold a burrito, and I think I got this tortilla a little on the crispy side, but that's okay, is I like to just fold it over, fold it in, and then over. That's not so bad. It's a little crispy, but it'll do. All right, that is how you make a breakfast burrito. You're going to eat it out of hand, or you're going to eat it with a fork. We usually eat it with a fork. Super easy, super delicious, super fast, and you didn't have to go through the drive-thru and spend extra money because you probably already had that stuff in your fridge anyway. No reason to spend the extra. Get up 20 minutes early and cook yourself breakfast. Or save it for the weekend and don't go out. Stay at home on a rainy, gloomy Saturday morning with your newspaper and your coffee and have a breakfast burrito with the ones you love.
Or surprise your significant other.
That's right. Or surprise your significant other. I like that idea. So, breakfast burritos. I hope you try it. I hope you love it. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen early in the morning. And until next time, I'll see ya.